Ruyan is looking all lovey-dovey as she feeds this piece of mooncake to Boda, the new intern. This dude Boda actually blushes, looking all shy but totally enjoying the attention as he opens his mouth. Gross! Instantly, the entire room goes dead silent. Every single eye is locked on me. Some are pitying me, others are just enjoying the free drama. I literally became the biggest joke of the night. But instead of crying, I just let out a cold smirk. The next second, boom! I reach out, grab my gorgeous assistant, Ningbing, by her waist and pull her close. She is completely stunned. I lean down and kiss her right in front of everyone. So my kiss was a straight-up depth charge, dropped a nuke on the entire room and left everyone absolutely stunned. Bai Ningbing instantly froze, her eyes going wide with pure shock. She literally forgot to even struggle. Her lips were crazy soft with the sweet hint of red wine, but I kept it clean, didn't go too deep. Just a quick stamp, a total flexing move to score a point. But did I let go of her waist? Absolutely not. I held her close and slowly turned my head, staring straight at Liu Ruyan. Her smile instantly froze. Her hand holding that mooncake was literally stuck in midair. Her face went from utter confusion to pure shock before twisting into absolute raging disbelief. Feng, are you insane? She shrieked, her scream completely shattering the fake peaceful vibe of the banquet hall. Meanwhile, that little intern, Boda, turned pale as a ghost. Stood there, completely lost, looking like a kid who got caught red-handed. I completely ignored Liu Ruyan's screaming and just gave her a cold, calm stare. Right back at you. My voice wasn't even loud, but it hit her ears loud and clear. Liu Ruyan was literally shaking with rage. She pointed a shaking finger at me, completely speechless. Finally, the crowd realized what just went down and the entire room erupted into whispers. Everyone's eyes were darting back and forth between Liu Ruyan, Bai Ningbing, and that intern. Bro, this was absolute cinema, easily the wildest drama this company has ever seen since day one. It was the ultimate face slap of the year. I finally let go of Bai Ningbing. She snapped out of her daze, her cheeks instantly flushing beet red. She looked down, taking a half step back to keep some distance, but I could feel her trembling slightly. Sorry for using you, I whispered to her. Bai Ningbing just shook her head, keeping her lips pressed tight. Feng, you better give me an explanation right now. Liu Ruyan finally found her voice. Stormed right up to my face, eyes practically spitting fire. An explanation? I let out a dry laugh. What do you want me to explain? Or how about you explain something first? What the hell is it called when you feed another man right in front of my face? He is just a kid. He is a new intern. What is wrong with me looking out for him? Liu Ruyan yelled, completely shameless. A kid? I scoffed, turning my eyes to that guy, Boda. He looks to be in his early 20s. Sure, he is young, but he is definitely not some clueless little kid. He is a fully grown man, getting hand-fed by his boss lady, and his face did not look like he was just getting taken care of at all. No, there was a straight-up flirty vibe there. Director Liu, your way of taking care of your employees is really something else. I did not even try to hide the pure sarcasm in my voice. You are insane. Seeing she could not win the argument, Liu Ruyan instantly tried to pivot, pissed her right dead in front of everyone. Where does that leave? Did you even think about our reputation? I fired back. Is that even the same thing? I stepped closer, cornering him, and asked, how is it any different? Was my kiss PC, or is your feeding style just built different? The crowd started buzzing even louder, and the company execs literally scrambled to stop the drama. Chill out. Boss Chen, Boss Liu, it's the Mid-Autumn Festival. Let's keep the peace and secure the bag. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about this at home. Don't let the staff make fun of us, she whispered. But looking at her fake toxic face, I was just utterly disgusted. Trash banquet was officially over for me. Bai Ningbing, take me home. I threw those words out cold. I didn't even give Liu Ruyan a single look as I turned on my heel. Feng, you stop right there, she screamed behind me like a maniac. I didn't stop, walking straight for the exit of that trash hall. Ningbing hesitated for a split second before quickening her pace to keep up with me. She pushed the doors open for me. The moment we stepped outside, all that annoying noise vanished and the world finally went quiet. Down in the underground garage, Ningbing silently started the engine. The tension in the car was so heavy it was suffocating. I leaned back and closed my eyes. Chen. My brain was replaying the whole scene on a loop. Ruyan's sickeningly sweet look and that intern's smug, punchable face. Every single detail was flashing in my mind. It felt like a million needles stabbing my heart. 5 years of marriage, and I treated her like absolute royalty. We started from the bottom and built this entire company together. She was there when we had nothing, and I made sure she lived in luxury once we succeeded. Made her the vice president, paid for every single expense. I even lifted her entire family out of poverty. I never once said no. I thought we were partners for life, riding or dying together. Today was a massive, brutal reality check, a total face slap. That was not just some innocent mentoring. The way she looked at him, those touchy-feely vibes, They were acting like nobody else was in the room. She literally forgot I was sitting right next to her at the main table. The car kept moving smoothly down the road. Ningbing kept quiet, only darting quick, worried glances at me through the rearview mirror. Been my assistant for 3 years. Absolute professional, always cool and collected. But today, even she was visibly shaken. But honestly, who wouldn't be? No girl could stay calm after getting kissed by her boss in front of a whole crowd. I am so sorry, I muttered again. You do not need to apologize, boss, Ningbing finally said, her voice sounding a bit dry. I know you had a reason for doing what you did. I opened my eyes and watched the neon lights flash past the window. Still, I crossed the line, and I am sorry for taking advantage of you like that. Bing, I began, but she did not drag it out. Instead, she asked a much more practical question. What do you need me to do? I honestly loved how smart she was. Did not need Yusu's comfort. I needed a solution. Look up that intern, Jiboda, I said, my voice cold as ice. I want his entire file, every single detail, family background, social circles, and exactly how he sneaked into my company. Our hiring process is strict as hell. For a basic intern to have my director wife Liu Ruyan babying him like this, there is definitely some dirty drama behind it. Understood, boss, Bai Ningbing replied, sharp as always. The report will be on your desk first thing tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, my car pulled up to the villa. I sent her off and walked into that freezing, empty mansion alone. Not even 10 minutes later, my cheating wife's car pulled up, slammed the door and stepped out, her heels pounding the driveway with pure rage. The second she burst through the front door, she hurled her designer bag straight at the couch. Feng, you have got some nerve. How dare you humiliate me in public like that? She roared at me like an absolute maniac. I sat there, not even bothering to look up. Aren't you tired of this, I asked. Tired? I am literally dying of anger because of you. You better start explaining yourself right now. What is going on between you and that assistant Bai Ningbing? Have you two been sleeping together behind my back? I finally looked up, staring right into her eyes. Whatever happens between us, wasn't it all forced by you? You flirted with another man right in front of my face and expected me to smile about it? She gasped. But he is just a kid. I only see him as a little brother. A little brother? I literally burst out laughing. What kind of brother needs his boss to hand-feed him dinner? Stop lying, Liu Ruyan. She snapped back. Why is your mind so toxic and dirty? He is all alone in this massive city during the holidays. I was just showing some compassion. Why are you overreacting? She was still trying to gaslight me, trying to blame everything on me, still playing the victim. Looking at her face, the face I used to love, I felt absolutely nothing. It was just pathetic and ridiculous. There are hundreds of employees in this company way worse off than him. I don't see you hand-feeding them. That shut her up real quick. Her face turned red with embarrassment. Whatever, I don't want to argue anymore, I said, standing up and rubbing my temples. I'm done. I'm sleeping in the study tonight. I turned around and headed upstairs. Feng, stop right there. She wasn't letting it go, chasing right after me. She grabbed my arm, screaming, you can't sleep there. Tell me the truth. Have you been waiting for an excuse to leave me this whole time? Her nails dug into my skin, hurting like crazy. I violently threw her hand off. Stop throwing a tantrum, Liu Ruyan. You know damn well who is trying to ruin this marriage. Stared her down, letting every single word sink in. Stop treating me like a fool. With that, I walked straight into the study without giving her another second. I slammed the door and locked it shut. On the other side, she lost her absolute mind, pounding on the door and screaming curses. I blocked it all out, walked to the window and lit a cigarette. Watching the smoke drift away, my heart went ice cold. No more Mr. Nice Guy. It was time to lock in. Trust is broken. You can never glue it back together. I didn't sleep a wink that night. Fast forward to the next morning, I showed up at the office 30 minutes early. Sitting right on my desk was a manila folder. Classic Bai Ningbing, fast and flawless. She never misses. I tore the folder open and pulled out the papers. The first page had the intern's basic info. Boda, 22 years old, finance major at Haicheng University. Joined my investment department as an intern 3 months ago. Resume looked totally clean. Too clean. I skipped straight to the last page to check his family background. Father Zhang Jianjun. Mother Li Hui. But when I saw his father's name, my eyes went wide. I knew that name. Oh, I knew it very well. Years ago, hidden in Liu Ruyan's secret photo album, I saw that exact name. He was her college boyfriend, her first love. There was a photo of them hugging tightly, smiling like they owned the world. She told me he went abroad and they lost touch. Turns out not only is he back, but he has a 22-year-old son. And that kid is interning at my Y company, acting as my wife's little brother. Holding that paper, I wanted to laugh. This is insane. Oh, he is so pitiful. I just treat him like a brother. What absolute garbage. She wasn't looking out for some random intern. She was clinging on to her long-lost youth. She was coddling her first love's kid. I slammed the papers down, my chest heavy with rage. Pure rage rushed straight to my head. No wonder she looked at him with those puppy dog eyes. No wonder she crossed the line. She was looking at her ex through this kid. Who am I to her? Just a successful husband she can walk all over? A stepping stool to fund her ex-lover's kid's career? It made me sick to my stomach. I grabbed the office phone and dialed Bai Ningbing. Send G. Boda and his manager up to my office right now. Good, boss. I hung up and walked over to the floor-to-ceiling windows. Watching the traffic below, I took a deep breath. Getting mad won't solve anything. Now it's time to play the game. I am going to rip off their masks. A knock on the door broke the silence. Come in. The door opened, and the investment manager, Wang, led G. Boda inside. Both of them looked absolutely terrified. Mr. Chen, you wanted to see us? The manager asked, sweating bullets. I ignored him and locked eyes with G. Boda. The boy's smug, shy act from last night was completely gone, visibly shaking. G. Boda, right? I asked. Yes, Mr. Chen, he stammered. How's the internship treating you? Settling in well? I kept my voice completely neutral. No anger, just cold calculation. Really good. Everyone has been so nice. Oh, really? I smiled, letting the silence stretch. Especially Director Liu, right? She has been extra caring, hasn't she? Jiboda's face went completely pale. The manager's jaw dropped as cold sweat poured down his neck. He wasn't stupid. He knew exactly what was about to go down. He instantly knew he was cooked. He stammered, Director Chen, is there some misunderstanding here? Misunderstanding? I smirked, grabbing the files from my desk and stepping right up to Jiboda. I patted his shoulder with a cold smile. Bro, having a cheat code in the office is nice, but some favors will cost you your life. I shoved the files right in his face. Your dad is Zheng Jianjun, right? The moment Ji Boda saw that name, he froze. His whole body started shaking. Dude was completely speechless. Manager Wang was watching from the side, sweating bullets and too scared to even breathe. I'm actually curious, I said, locking eyes with this trash. I leaned in and asked him slowly, when Director Liu hooked you up with this job, did she forget to mention that she's literally my wife? Ji Boda's lips started trembling. He couldn't spit out a single word. Bro was absolutely cornered. But right at that moment, the office door was slammed open. Liu Ruyan busted in. She obviously heard the drama and sprinted all the way here, her hair looking a total mess. Chen Feng, what do you think you're doing? She screamed. Seeing the absolute chaos in the room, she immediately lunged forward, shielding Ji Boda behind her like some protective mother hen. Why are you taking your anger out on a kid? If you have a problem, take it out on me. Seeing her trying to play hero for this guy made me laugh. It was a cold, ruthless laugh. Take it out on you? Oh, absolutely. I waved the files in her face. Director Liu, why don't you explain why the son of your precious Zhang Jianjun is working at my company? Don't give me that trash excuse about him just being a younger brother. The second Liu Ruyan saw those papers, her face went completely pale. She never expected that I would expose Ji Boda's background this fast. Panic flashed in her eyes, but she quickly tried to play it cool and act tough. So what if he is? She raised her chin, stubbornly refusing to back down. Zhang Jinjun is just an old classmate. His son is an intern here, so what's wrong with me looking out for him as his senior? Classmate? I chuckled, tasting the lie. Liu Ruyan, we've been married for 5 years. Is there a single classmate of yours I haven't met? Do I need to dig up your old photo albums? Though we can all take a trip down memory lane and see who this classmate really is. My words sliced through her like a razor, hitting her exactly where it hurts. Liu Ruyan's face went from red to pale and then a sickly green. It was pure cinema. Behind her, Ji Boda, shaking so hard he could barely stand. Manager Wang from investment looked like he wanted to phase through the floor and disappear. He finally realized what kind of insane drama he had stumbled into. Chen Feng, don't test me, Liu Ruyan snapped, her face burning with embarrassment. This is a company, not your house. Stop bringing your personal drama to the office. Personal drama? I stepped right into her personal space, whispering in a tone that only she could hear. You literally brought your first love's kid into my company, flirted with him every single day, and even hand-fed him in front of everyone. And now you're calling this a personal matter? I didn't do that. She barked back, trying to deny it. But her voice was completely shaking now. Are you really going to tell me that every time you look at his face, you aren't thinking about his dad? Each of my words hit her like a nail, driving straight into her heart. Liu Ruyan stumbled back, all the color draining from her lips. I had hit the bullseye. Every single lie and excuse she made up just crumbled before the cold, hard truth. Enough, she shrieked, sounding like a cat getting its tail stepped on. Well, what if I was thinking of him? That's all in the past. Why are you always bringing up old drama? Chen Feng, can you grow up for once? She was actually trying to call me immature. I literally laughed out loud. Whether I'm mature or not is none of your business. My smile instantly vanished. I looked at her with a deadpan expression. Now let's talk about business. I turned my eyes toward managers Wang and the shivering mess that was Ji Boda. Manager Wang, you're fully aware of the company rules regarding conflict of interest and hiring policies, right? Yes, sir! Manager Wang stammered, sweating bullets. Excellence. Then tell me, Director Liu abusing her power to hire someone she has a secret personal relationship with and hiding it from the board, is that a violation or not? Manager Wang looked like he was about to burst into tears. He kept glancing between me and Liu Ruyan, too terrified to utter a single word. Don't worry, I'll answer for you, I said, letting him off the hook. Yes, it is. Fact, it is a severe violation. I spared one final trash-tier look at Boda. As of right now, you're fired. Pack your trash and get out of my building immediately. No, you can't do this. Liu Ruyan shrieked, blocking Boda again like a human shield. He's just an intern. He didn't know anything. He didn't know? I let out a savage laugh. He didn't know his dad was your precious first love? He didn't know you two should have kept your distance? Liu Ruyan, are you trying to insult my intelligence? Or everyone in this room a joke to you? Chen Feng, you have no right to cut her off, my voice booming with absolute authority. I am the CEO of this company. My word is absolute. I snapped my eyes to Manager Wang. Manager Wang, escort him out personally. If you can't handle this, then you're fired too. Manager Wang jumped, not daring to waste another second. He grabbed the completely broken Boda and dragged him out. Stood Director Chen. I'm on it. Wait, don't go. Liu Ruyan lunged to stop them, but I snatched her by the wrist. Liu Ruyan, don't make me despise you any more than I already do. My grip was like iron, making her wince in pain. She struggled wildly, but she couldn't break free. Just the two of us were left in the office, the tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. Chen Feng, did you really have to ruin everything like this? Liu Ruyan's eyes welled up with tears. She started crying, trying to guilt-trip me. Look at me. The second you dragged Boda into this company, this ending was already written. You're going to destroy our 5 years of marriage over some random kid, an outsider? I let go of her wrist, stepping back to put some distance between us. Be real. Between you and him, I'm the one who's the outsider. Those words completely shattered Liu Ruyan's final defense. She stared at me blankly, her lips trembling, but not a single sound came out. Did you really think I didn't know what you were plotting? I kept going. Bro really thought she co-founded this empire with me and that the company would go down under without her. She seriously believed my entire net worth was tied to hers. She thought I was too scared to ever make a move. That's why she got so comfortable acting untouchable and throwing disrespect in my face. But with every single word I dropped, Liu Ruan's face lost a bit more color. I told her straight up that she was way too confident. I walked over to my desk, sat down, and casually picked up the phone to call legal. I ordered Lawyer Liu to get up to my office right now. Then I looked up totally calm and at her pale, ghostly face. I was like, now that the business is out of the way, let's talk about getting a divorce. No way. Divorce? Liu Ruyan looked at me like I just told the biggest joke of the century. She literally froze in place. Bursting out into this crazy, screeching laugh, she yelled, Chen Feng are bringing up divorce with me? Why do you even have to say that? Her laugh was pure trash talk and absolute rage. She was like, just because I gave a mooncake to an intern? Just because he's my first love's son? You really want to divorce me over some petty drama? She stormed right up to my desk, slammed her hands on the table, and leaned in close to look down on me. She said, do not forget how this entire company was built. Back then, if my dad didn't give you $300,000 in starting cash, you would still be a regular wage slave working for someone else. Without me, there is no Shengtang group. At least half of everything you own belongs to me. You want a divorce? Fine by me, but you are splitting this company 50-50. She demanded half of all my real estate, stocks, and cash. She was flexing, totally convinced I would chicken out. Bro really thought she had me by the throat. Looking at her face turn red with rage, I felt absolutely nothing but pity. It's crazy how in her mind, our entire relationship boiled down to just one thing: cash, shares, and assets. Our 5 years together meant absolutely nothing to her when money was on the line. Right then, there was a knock at the door. Lawyer Liu from the legal department walked in, asking what I needed. I just gestured for him to take a seat. He could immediately feel the heavy, tense energy in the room. Seeing Liu Ruyan's furious expression, he knew things were about to go down. But being a professional, he kept his mouth shut, quietly sat down. Liu Ruyan crossed her arms, scoffing and laughing. She sneered, Chen Feng, what is this supposed to mean? You think bringing a lawyer in here is going to scare me? I looked her dead in the eye and said, I am not trying to scare you. I am dead serious. Then I turned to the lawyer. I told him I am divorcing Ms. Liu Ruyan, and I need him to start handling all the asset division right now. Lawyer Liu's face went completely serious. He pushed up his glasses and asked if I was absolutely sure, because this would cause a massive shift in the company's shares. He warned me it would hit the company hard, but I didn't hesitate for even a second. I told him I was sure. He nodded, pulled out his notebook, and got straight to work. He addressed Liu Ruyan, saying since I wanted to proceed, they should lay out the division plans. He started explaining how under the law, marital assets are usually split down the middle, and since the company was built after the wedding, it counts as joint property. But Liu Ruyan cut him off, yelling, "Split 50-50? In your dreams." She pointed her finger right at me, her eyes filled with pure venom. She screamed, "Chen Feng, let me tell you something. If you want a divorce, fine, but I want 51% of this company. I want absolute control, or you won't get a single penny." She said she would drag this out and ruin my life. Honestly, she was completely unhinged. She lost all logic just to protect her trash ego and get revenge. Even the lawyer was visibly shaken by how ridiculously greedy she was. He frowned and tried to speak up. He told her that her demands were literally illegal. But she went full psycho and shrieked that she didn't care about the law because she earned every bit of it. She screamed that she was the one who turned a broke nobody into a big-shot CEO, and that kicking her to the curb wouldn't be that easy. I didn't even bother arguing. I just sat there, coldly watching her clown show. Once she finally ran out of breath, I calmly opened my mouth. I told her, "Liu Ruyan, did you seriously forget that the 300,000 your dad gave me was a loan, not an investment?" Right then, she froze. I reminded her that we had a written agreement signed in black and white, and I kept going. 3 years ago, I already paid your dad back $1 million, with full interest. You cannot tell me you forgot about that. Her expression instantly shattered because she knew it was true. Back then, her dad even complained that I paid him back too much, saying we were family and didn't need to keep score. And as for the company, I tapped my fingers on the desk, telling her that the legal representative of the group is me, and the entire startup fund came from my own pockets. From day one, she was just an employee. And never a shareholder. No way, she shrieked. Impossible. The company profile says we are co-founders. I completely shattered her last little delusion, saying co-founder is just a fancy title, not actual shares. If she didn't believe me, she could have lawyer Liu pull up the official registration papers right now, because on the shareholder list, from start to finish, only my name is on it. Liu Ruyan went completely numb. She stared at me like I was a total stranger, like she was seeing the real me for the very first time. She always assumed we were equal partners, and that she had the same level of power as me. She never saw this plot twist coming. She didn't realize I had been protecting myself from day one, or more like protecting my assets from her greedy family. She started shaking, whispering that I was playing her the entire time. She looked completely betrayed, but I corrected her. I was not trying to play her. I was simply securing what belonged to me. But I said, just like how you kept throwing your dad's money in my face to keep me in line, we never actually trusted each other, did we? We were both just playing defense the entire time. It's honestly tragic. Right on cue, lawyer Liu cleared his throat and chimed in. If that's the case, then this is an easy win. The company counts as my personal premarital assets. When it comes to splitting the money, she wasn't getting a single dime of it. Talk about a major face slap. She stumbled backward, completely broken, and collapsed onto the couch. It's officially over for her. Biggest leverage crumbled in an instant. Looking at her pale, defeated face, I started talking about our assets, the houses, the cars, and the savings we accumulated after marriage. I continued, saying, sure, by law we split it 50-50. I have 3 houses under my name, and you can pick whichever one you want. On top of that, I will give you another 10 million in cash as compensation. When it came to splitting our assets, I was not trying to completely ruin her. After all, we were once married. But Liu Ruyan obviously did not see it that way. She thought this was a total insult, yelling, 10 million in one house? Chen Feng, are you trying to feed scraps to a beggar? She snapped her head up, her eyes burning with pure hatred. I wasted 5 years of my youth on you. I gave you my best years and bore your children. Oh wait, I actually haven't had kids with you yet, but you already want to kick me to the curb. She suddenly brought up kids. We had been married for 5 years, and we never had any children. At first, I felt the company was just starting out, and I was too busy to focus on starting a family. Later, when the company finally stabilized, I brought it up a few times, but she always rejected the idea, claiming she was too career-oriented and did not want to be tied down by a family so early. And now, she actually used this as a weapon to attack me. Chen Feng, I'm not divorcing you. She looked like she had made up her mind, a creepy smile creeping onto her face. I will never let you and that little trash get what you want, as long as I do not sign. Hint, you will never ever get rid of me. We will torture each other to death. Let's see who lasts longer. She was completely throwing a tantrum now. My brows furrowed. This was getting way more annoying than I expected. Director Liu, if both sides cannot reach an agreement, President Chen can file a lawsuit in court. My lawyer, Mr. Liu, chimed in. If the court rules that the marriage has completely broken down, they will still grant the divorce. Lawyer Liu warned her. Broken down? Says who? Liu Ruyan instantly snapped back. Our relationship is absolutely perfect. We even attended the Mid-Autumn Festival Banquet together yesterday. Right, hubby? She intentionally used this sickeningly sweet voice to call me hubby, making my stomach turn. This woman had completely lost her mind, and I was done wasting my breath on her. Lawyer Liu, I am leaving the rest entirely to you. I only have one requirement. Get this divorce done as fast as possible. We can even make some compromises on the assets. Feng. I stood up, grabbed my coat, and prepared to leave this suffocating office. Where do you think you are going? Liu Ruyan blocked the door. Do I need to report my whereabouts to you? Director Liu? I heavily emphasized her title. Are you going to find that home-wrecking trash? She glared at me like she wanted to kill me. And what if I am? I intentionally provoked her. I will kill you. Liu Ruyan went completely feral and lunged straight at me. She tried to claw my face with her sharp nails, but I easily dodged it, grabbed her wrist, and shoved her away. She lost her balance and fell straight to the floor. She sat there in shock, staring at me before suddenly bursting into hysterical, heartbreaking tears. Feng, how could you treat me like this? How could you? She wailed, listing my crimes as if I were the ultimate villain in this story. Lawyer Liu stood on the side, completely awkward and clueless. I looked at her crying mess with a totally blank face, not feeling a single thing. There is nothing more dead than a dead heart. That was exactly how I felt. I walked right past her and pulled the office door open. Outside, Bai Ningbing stood there looking extremely worried. She had obviously heard the screaming inside, but without my order, she did not dare to step in. Seeing me walk out, she let out a huge sigh of relief. Boss, are you okay? I am fine. I adjusted my collar, which Liu Ruyan had wrinkled, and said, send out an announcement. Starting today, suspend all of Liu Ruyan's duties as director. Have her current projects transferred immediately. This was the ultimate power move. Since she wanted to play games and drag this out, I would make sure she could not survive in this company for another second. Boss. Bai Ningbing replied instantly. Inside the office, Liu Ruyan's crying suddenly stopped. She stared at me in absolute disbelief, never expecting me to be this ruthless. Without giving her another glance, I walked straight to the elevator with Bai Ningbing. I knew this war was just getting started. Over the next few days, the company fell into a tense silence. Liu Ruyan stopped showing up at work, so I had the legal department mail the suspension notice and the divorce papers directly to our house. Word on the street was that when she got them, she smashed everything she could get her hands on. She spammed my phone with countless calls, but I did not pick up a single one. But then she started spamming messages. It went from pure insults to desperate threats, and finally to pathetic begging. I read every single one, deleted them with a completely blank face. Meanwhile, Bai Ningbing was a literal god at her job. In just a few days, she completely sorted out all of Liu Ruyan's workload and took over everything seamlessly without causing a single hiccup in our operations. The employees in the investment department, especially Liu Ruyan's former loyalists, were super anxious at first, but after seeing Bai Ningbing's insane efficiency and superior professional skills, they were quickly won over. The entire company was slowly erasing Liu Ruyan's influence, which made me breathe a sigh of relief. But I could not let my guard down yet. I knew Liu Ruyan too well. She was not the type to just take the loss and walk away. Her current silence definitely meant she was cooking up an even bigger storm. That afternoon, while I was reviewing the quarterly financial report prepared by Bai Ningbing, an unknown number called my phone. I casually picked it up. Is this Chen Feng? This is Auntie Zhang, Ruyan's mother. A sharp and toxic female voice blasted through the speaker. Han, my mother-in-law, a woman who had looked down on me since the very first day I met Liu Ruyan. Is there something you need, Auntie? I asked coldly. My tone was completely flat. Is there something I need? Of course there is. Let me ask you, why on earth do you want to divorce our Ruyan? What did she even do wrong, you ungrateful piece of trash? The moment the call connected, she started screaming and throwing insults at me. Let me tell you, if our Ruyan had not been blind enough to fall for you back then, you would still be hauling bricks at a construction site. Now that you have money and success, you want to kick her out? No way in hell. It was the exact same script again, as if everything I accomplished today was some kind of charity from the Liu family. Auntie, this is between Ruyan and me. I think it is best if we resolve this ourselves, I said, barely holding back my annoyance. Resolve it yourselves. Things were fine. Would Ruyan be crying her eyes out every single day? She's literally skin and bones now. Then his voice suddenly spiked as he yelled, better give me an explanation today, or I'm gonna ruin you. I casually asked what he wanted. He snapped, go home right now and apologize to Ruyan. Tear up that divorce agreement, transfer half of the company shares to her name, and maybe, just maybe, our Ruyan will consider forgiving you. Bro, I was literally laughing at how shameless this was. I said, Auntie, are you daydreaming? And she lost it, shouting, what is that tone? Feng, don't push your luck. You think I won't expose you at your company tomorrow? I'll show everyone what a toxic, ungrateful trash you really are. An ungrateful gold digger. Yep, she started throwing a full-blown tantrum. Same old trash tactic, cry, scream, throw a fit. Back then, because of Liu Ruyan, keep the peace, I let it slide. But this time, zero tolerance. I coldly spat out 3 words. Do your worst. Then I hung up and instantly blocked her number. I knew the drama was coming, and big surprise. The next morning, the front desk calls. Turns out my ex-mother-in-law brought a whole squad to the lobby, throwing a massive scene and demanding to see me. I pinched the bridge of my nose and told Bai Ningbing on the phone, get security to kick them out. If they refuse to leave, call the cops. Boss, won't this cause a massive scene? Bai Ningbing asked, sounding worried. Let it blow up, I said, my voice ice cold. That's the only way to end this once and for all. I want everyone to see their true colors. Let's see. Once their toxic, shameless behavior is exposed to the world, I want to see how Liu Ruyan plays the poor, abandoned victim on social media. Bai Ningbing went quiet for a second, instantly catching my drift. Understood, boss. On it. I hung up and walked over to the window, looking down. Within minutes, security was surrounding a middle-aged woman throwing a tantrum on the floor, while her relatives stood there pointing and yelling. A huge crowd started gathering. Honestly, my ex-mother-in-law did not disappoint. She sat right on the floor, slapping her thighs and screaming at the top of her lungs, "Where is the justice?" My son-in-law got rich and dumped my daughter. She suffered so much for him, and now that he's big time, he gets a mistress and kicks her to the curb. Look at this ungrateful trash. Everyone, honestly, her acting was even better than Liu Ruyan's. The clueless crowd started pointing and whispering at our office building. Some even whipped out their phones to record, but Bai Ningbing was faster. Since security couldn't deal with them, she called the cops. They pulled up in minutes. Pops got the gist of the drama and tried to escort them out, but she wasn't having it, literally wrapping herself around a lobby pillar and refusing to let go. She kept screaming slurs, so the cops finally had to carry her out like a sack of potatoes and throw her into the squad car. The lobby drama was over, but the internet was about to blow up. Someone leaked the video online, super clickbait title. Breaking news, CEO of Tang Group gets rich and dumps his loyal wife, bringing in a mistress to kick her out. Mother-in-law gets beaten by security just for asking for justice. The video went viral instantly, and the comment section was straight up toxic, roasting me alive. People were saying, men get rich and turn into trash. I feel so bad for his wife, she deserves way better. And that mistress is so shameless. She really called the cops on the wife's family. Cancel Tang Group, boycott the company. The internet was totally against us. Our PR hotline was blowing up and our stock price took a hit. Damn, Liu Ruyan's move was vicious. She wanted to cancel me and force me to submit. She thought she could ruin my reputation to make me yield. Bai Ningbing walked in, looking extremely stressed. Boss, the internet is absolutely destroying us right now. PR team is panicking. They want to know if we should release a statement. No need, I waved my hand. But boss, if we stay silent, it'll just add fuel to the fire. I stared at the toxic comments on my screen, perfectly calm, let them scream. Bigger this drama gets, the harder they're gonna fall. Ningbing asked, so we just sit on our hands? No, I looked up at her. I need you to do something for me. Name it, boss. Dig up Liu Ruyan's recent bank records, along with her mother's, that is Ms. Zhang Gifen. Also, get me the absolute best defamation lawyers in the country. Since they want to play dirty, I'll give them a game they'll never forget. They're using social media? Fine, I'll use the law. I'm not just getting a divorce. I'm going to make her and her toxic mother pay for every single thing they did. Hearing absolute coldness in my voice, Ningbing shivered, nodded, and said, on it, boss. She turned and walked out. She was so sharp and decisive. Looking at her back, something shifted inside me. This girl, she always gets me. No matter what, she's got my back. When the whole world walked out on me, she was the only one who stayed. My phone buzzed. A text from Liu Ruyan. See that? That's what happens when you mess with me. Beg for mercy now, or I'll make things 10 times worse. I'm going to completely ruin you. And then she sent a photo. It was a selfie of her and her mother outside the police station, both smirking like they'd already won. I stared at it and smirked. Ruin me? Liu Ruyan, you have no idea who you're dealing with. And you seriously overplayed your hand. The real show is just getting started. Meanwhile, the drama at our office was spreading like wildfire online. With some shadow banning and bots pushing the post, the rumors got wilder. I was labeled as the ultimate cheating scumbag, and Bai Ningbing was dragged through the mud as a homewrecker. Our stock price took a dive, and partners were blowing up my phone trying to get the gossip. Honestly, she got exactly what she wanted. She caused massive damage, thinking she'd break me and force me to beg. But guess what? I didn't do a single thing. I actually ordered my PR team to shut their mouths. No responses, no statements, nothing. I just sat back like a total outsider, acting like none of this was my business. Watching this absolute clown show go down. To the public, my silence meant I was guilty. To Liu Ruyan, She thought I was completely out of options and started flexing even harder. Bro started doing exclusive interviews, crying fake tears on camera like she deserved an Oscar. She painted me as some ungrateful trash who used his father-in-law to get rich and then threw the family away. She made herself look like the perfect, suffering wife who sacrificed everything only to get abandoned. Honestly, her acting was insane. People were totally buying it, crying buckets for her. Even my mother-in-law, Zhang Gifen, became an overnight internet sensation, streaming every single day to cry about her daughter's tragic life. Spent hours cursing me out, calling me heartless. These two were riding a massive wave of hype. Meanwhile, my assistant Bai Ningbing kept dropping the latest internet drama updates on my desk. She looked more stressed by the day, telling me, "Boss, things are getting worse. Some of our clients are already backing out of contracts. If this keeps up, our entire company is cooked." I just smiled, calmly flipping through the trash articles online and told her, "Chill. Fish is about to bite." Ningbing was completely lost, asking, "Boss, what do you mean?" I just smirked and pointed at one of the top articles. "Look at this. Liu Ruyan is claiming she gave up her dreams and sacrificed everything just to support my career. She even claimed she sold her own jewelry to keep the company afloat back in the day." Ningbing cut in, raising her voice. "But boss, that is a straight-up lie. When we started, she was just handling basic HR and admin work. The actual core tech and business? You carried all of that on your back alone. It never happened." I just laughed and said, "I know it's fake, but the internet loves drama, so they believe it." Then I pointed to another file. It was the transcript of Zhang Guifen's live stream. "Look here, she says she gave me her life savings to support me. And now she's claiming her ungrateful son-in-law kicked her to the curb." Ningbing frowned, saying, "Wait, didn't you pay back every single cent of that money with massive interest years ago?" "Exactly," I nodded. "The more lies they tell, the bigger the trap they dig for themselves. They're trying so hard to play the victim right now. But the higher they climb, the harder they're going to fall." Ningbing's eyes went wide. "Oh, I get it now. You're waiting for the perfect moment to deliver a total one-shot. Smart girl." I gave her a nod. "Tell our legal team to get ready. We can pull the trigger on this lawsuit whenever we want." Also, "Did you get those bank statements I asked for?" "Yes." Ningbing quickly pulled out a stack of documents and handed them over. "These are the financial records of Liu Ruyan and her mother for the past 3 years." I noticed that every single month, Liu Ruyan transferred massive amounts of cash to her mother. We're talking $30,000 to $50,000 monthly. On top of that, her mom's account has over $2 million of completely unexplained cash, excluding the $1 million you already paid her back. Unexplained cash? I grabbed the papers, squinting at the numbers. It didn't take long to find something super fishy. Almost all of that random $2 million was transferred from an account belonging to someone named Liu Guoqiang. That's her freeloading brother, a lazy 30-something-year-old man-child who has never worked a real day in his life and lives entirely off our money. I already gave him a generous monthly allowance through Liu Ruyan, but apparently, this trash wanted more. I dug deeper into Liu Ruyan's transactions. Boom, there it was. She had been funneling massive amounts of company money disguised as prepayments and supplier fees. And guess where that money went? Straight to fake shell companies I'd never heard of. When you trace the owners of these ghost companies, they all lead right back to one guy, Liu Guoqiang. Truth was finally out. Liu Ruyan was using her position to team up with her brother and mother, straight up stealing and embezzling millions from my company for years. We're talking at least $10 million here. My hands were actually shaking looking at this. I thought she only cheated on me, but this is a whole new level of messed up. She was playing me from day one, treating me and my company like her family's personal ATM. 5 years of marriage, nothing but a joke to her. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and when I opened them, I was feeling nothing but cold, hard rage. Ningbing. "Yes, boss? Hand all of this over to the lawyers. Tell them I'm suing Liu Ruyan and her brother for corporate embezzlement and her mom for illegal possession. Want them to spit out every single dollar they stole from me. They're going to pay for this behind bars." Got it. Ningbing's eyes lit up. She was clearly sick of their shameless trash behavior too. I added, "Also, package all the evidence we have. Liu Ruyan's secret affair with Jiboda, the fake financial records, and the videos of her mom acting like a crazy person online. Put all of that together with our legal lawsuit papers. Get in touch with all our media partners and blast it across the entire internet tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock sharp." They wanted to play games with media hype? Fine. I'll show them what a real media war looks like. I want the whole world to see just how disgusting and fake this family really is. I'm going to turn her from a sad little victim into a cheating, embezzling criminal who's going straight to prison. I am going to completely destroy her. Understood, boss. Ningbing gave a heavy nod and rushed out to get to work. Finally, I was left alone in my office. I pulled out my phone and scrolled to the trash talk text Liu Ruyan sent me earlier. I'm gonna ruin you and leave you with absolutely nothing. Smirked, typed 2 words, try me. Then I dialed my lawyer's number. Hey, lawyer Liu, forget about being nice in the divorce. I want her to leave with absolutely nothing. She wanted to play dirty, so she's about to find out. Time to end this. The next morning at exactly 10 o'clock, a massive calculated media storm completely broke the internet. Our company's official account and dozens of major news outlets dropped a massive bomb at the same time, releasing a statement titled, "Setting the Record Straight" on the false accusations online. It was clean, brutal, and backed by hard evidence, cutting through her lies like a sharp scalpel. Time to peel back the lies that trash Liu Ruyan and her mom spun. Let us expose the rotten truth inside. Part 1 goes straight for the throat. The article drops a massive bomb. It reveals that the real reason our marriage fell apart was Liu Ruyan getting super cozy with her intern, Boda, at the company Mid-Autumn Banquet. And guess what? There are receipts. The post includes security camera screenshots. Even though it is a bit blurry, you can clearly see her hand-feeding her intern. They were acting like nobody else was in the room. Absolutely disgusting. But wait, here comes the ultimate plot twist. The article doxes Boda's true identity. Dad, Zhang Jianjun, was actually Liu Ruyan's first love back in college. No way. When this dropped, the internet literally exploded. All those netizens who felt sorry for her and thought she was the victim, they realized they got played like absolute fools. Oh my god, what a plot twist. She was the one cheating the whole time. And with her first love's son, this is so messed up. What kind of forbidden romance is this? No wonder President Chen went full revenge mode. The man was disgusted to his core. To everyone who called him a scumbag before, we owe him a massive apology. Who could actually tolerate this? The tables have turned. Public opinion flipped in a second. But if you think this is satisfying, wait till you see part 2. It is an absolute fatal blow. The article exposes how she abused her power to set up shell companies and forge fake contracts. She embezzled over $12 million of company funds, and we have got the actual bank statements for every single transaction. Every transfer record is right here. And where did all that cash go? Straight into the pockets of her trash brother and greedy mother. Post even includes police reports showing she is under official investigation, alongside a massive civil lawsuit against her. She, her brother, and her mother are all getting sued. The internet is losing its mind. Cheating is a moral issue, but stealing $12 million is a straight-up crime. Oh my god, $12 million. This woman is pure evil. She was out here playing the victim for sympathy while robbing her husband blind. Give this girl an Oscar already. Her whole family are literal vampires treating their son-in-law like a personal ATM. Send them all to jail. Now for part 3. This is for the mother-in-law who threw a tantrum at our office and spread lies online. We just released the full video of her screaming and abusing our security guards. Plus, we posted the receipts showing we already paid off her $300,000 debt and gave her an extra $700,000 in interest. Top it off, our elite legal team is suing her and every single gossip account for defamation. It is officially over for them. 3 massive punches right to the face. All those online trolls who were defending this trash mother-daughter duo? Talk about an epic face slap. They are so embarrassed and angry that they have turned their rage toward Liu Ruyan and her mom's social media and live streams. Back our sympathy, you filthy scammers. Spit out that money and rot in jail. We have never seen a family this shameless. A wave of hate completely drowned them. Liu Ruyan's account got totally wrecked, forcing her to shut down comments. And the second her mom started her live stream, chat was so flooded with people telling her to get lost that she crashed. She had to end the stream in shame after just a few minutes. Everyone is turning on them now. To save their own skins, those gossip accounts deleted their old posts and started bashing them to stay relevant. Talk about a massive backstab. The massive storm they created ended up completely destroying them. I just sat in my office, watching it all play out. Bai Ningbing stood next to me with a smug smile. Boss, this is a complete victory, but I just smiled. This is only the beginning. I took a sip of my tea. Set up a meeting for all executives at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Understood, Bai Ningbing replied, but then she hesitated. Boss, there is something else. Spill it. Well, manager Wang just fired Boda, but the kid is begging to see you. Says he has some major tea on Director Liu. Boda? I frowned. Honestly, this kid was just a pawn in this whole mess. Felt kinda bad for him. Did he say what it is about? No, but he insists it is extremely important. He will only tell you in person. Send him up, I said. Let us see what this kid has got to say. Maybe he will give me a nice little surprise. 30 minutes later, Boda walked into my office. He looked incredibly stressed and pale, his eyes filled with guilt. President Chen bowed deeply the moment he walked in. I am so sorry. Sorry for what? I asked, staring at him. I shouldn't have messed with Director Liu knowing she was your wife. He looked down, his voice trembling. I was out of my mind. Bit too late for apologies, I said coldly. I know, he looked up with pure desperation. I know I messed up. One, I will take full responsibility. But I came here today to tell you a secret about Director Liu. It is about her and one of our biggest clients. A big client? That got my attention. Yes, Jibota said, reaching into his bag, pulled out a voice recorder and slid it across my desk. This is a recording of a call between her and me from a few days ago. She thought you were completely cooked by the online hate, so she got cocky and spilled the beans. I hit play, and her voice filled the room. She sounded incredibly smug and vicious. That idiot Chen Feng thinks this is just a game. I am telling you, this is just the appetizer. My real master plan is yet to come. Once the internet ruins him, I am going to contact President Li of Hongyuan Group. I have a major trump card up my sleeve. What trump card is that? G. Boda asked on the tape. Why do you think Hongyuan Group became our biggest client in the first place? They bring us nearly $100 million in profit every year. That is because President Li and I are extremely close. I had to pay a massive price to lock down that deal back then. Bro, Chen Feng really thinks he made it on his own. He has no idea his entire career only exists because I convinced President Li. If I leak this to Li's wife, guess what? To keep things quiet, Li will cancel our contract in a heartbeat. Our stocks will crash, and Chen Feng is absolutely cooked. The recording cuts off right there. Dead silence in my fin. I gripped that recording pen so hard the veins on my hand were practically popping. A wave of pure sickening disgust rushed straight from my toes to my head. President Li of Hongyuan Group, of course I knew him. He was our biggest client and a senior I actually respected. Back then, Liu Ruyan was the one who hooked us up with his company. I always thought our fire products and pitches won him over. I never expected there was such a trash, dirty deal going on behind my back. Plot twist. I was getting cuckolded from day one. The empire I built with my own sweat and tears, the success I was so proud of, built on my wife selling her body. Talk about a massive face slap. The humiliation was unreal. Hoff. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I literally spat a mouthful of blood right onto my documents. My assistant Bai Ningbing gasped in absolute shock. Her voice snapped me out of the pitch-black void. She rushed over, panicking as she grabbed tissues to wipe the blood from my mouth. Her voice cracking as she cried, "Boss, are you okay? I am calling an ambulance right now."
No, I waved her off.
The physical damage was not even 1/10,000th of the pain in my heart. I leaned back in my chair. Every bit of my energy was completely drained. The ultimate humiliation was not even that mooncake incident at the mid-autumn dinner. It was my entire career. It was rotten to the very core. I thought I built a massive business empire from scratch, but in the end, I was just a total joke. The pathetic loser whose wife had to sell her body to get him deals. Jiboda stood nearby, his face completely pale from pure terror. He was shaking, stammering, murmured, "Chen, I didn't mean to." I did not even look at him. My eyes were locked onto the desk. That black recording pen was like Pandora's box, unleashing the darkest secrets and completely crushing the last bit of my dignity. Seeing my face turn ghostly pale, Bai Ningbing grabbed the phone to call for help. I grabbed her hand and said, "I am fine. I will not die." My voice was incredibly raspy, sounding like sandpaper. "But boss, your health?" Ningbing hesitated for a second. She did what I said and helped me up from my chair. I stood tall even though my legs were trembling. I walked right up to Jiboda, backed away in terror. "Mr. Chen, did you bring me this recording to make up for your mistakes?" I asked him coldly. "Thought you should know the truth," Jiboda mumbled, keeping his head down. "Director Liu, she is terrifying." "Yeah, she is terrifying," I whispered back. I was speaking to myself. Looking at this kid, I had mixed feelings. He was the one who revealed this brutal truth to me. But he was also part of the betrayal with Liu Ruyan from the start. "Do you have any backups of this recording?" "No, this is the only copy." I nodded, pulling my checkbook out of my suit pocket. I signed a check for $100,000 and handed it to him. "Take this and leave the city. Never come back, and never contact Liu Ruyan again." Jiboda froze, not taking the check. "Mr. Chen, I do not want your money. This is not a reward," I said. I shoved the check into his hand. "This is hush money. I do not want to hear a single word about this from anyone, anywhere. Do you understand?" The look in my eyes absolutely terrified him. He shivered and nodded quickly. "I get it, Mr. Chen. I will not say a word." "Get out." I waved him off like a fly. Jiboda looked like he had just been granted a stay of execution. He grabbed the check and bolted out of my office. Once the door shut, locking out the world, I could not keep my act up anymore. My legs gave out, and I collapsed onto the sofa. Bai Ningbing poured a cup of warm water and held it out to me. "Boss, please have some water." Did not take it, just staring blankly ahead. "Ningbing, do you think I am a massive failure?" She stayed silent. She did not know what to say. I really thought I had everything under control. My career, my family. Turns out, it was all a lie. I thought giving her the best life would be enough. She was betraying and plotting against me from day one. Everything I built with my blood, sweat, and tears was just a joke. A castle in the air built on a disgusting, dirty deal. Every word felt like a punch to my own chest, a pathetic self-mockery. I couldn't help but start laughing. It grew louder, sounding completely unhinged. But as I laughed, the tears started rolling down my face. A ruthless businessman who never accepted defeat, now sobbing like a helpless child. Bai Ningbing did not try to stop me. Stood there quietly, handing me tissues. Once I finally calmed down a bit, she spoke softly. Boss, none of this is your fault. You built this business with your own 2 hands. Even without Hongyuan Group, with your insane skills, Shengtang Group would have succeeded anyway. It was only a matter of time. You are not a failure, boss. The real failure is Liu Ruyan. She did not deserve your success, and she definitely did not deserve your love. Her words felt like a spark of warmth in my frozen heart. I looked up at her, but there was no pity in her eyes, only absolute loyalty and trust. Thank you, Bai Ningbing. You are my boss, she replied simply. Yeah, she was my assistant. In my absolute darkest, most humiliating hour, she was the only one who stood by me. I wiped my tears. Stood back up. Send out the notice. The afternoon meeting goes on as scheduled. But boss, your health? I am fine. My voice returned to its usual cold, absolute focus. The sky is not falling down today. Liu Ruyan thinks this trump card of hers is going to destroy me. She is dead wrong. This is only going to make me stronger. No way this drama drags me down. I'm going to wipe this stain off my career with my own hands. I'm going to make Hongyuan Group disappear from my client list forever. I don't care if my company takes a massive hit, and I don't care if my net worth plummets. I'm ready to burn it all. I want a crystal clear business empire, one that belongs entirely to me, Chen Feng. Fast forward to 3 p.m., the executive meeting kicks off right on time. Second I step into the room, everyone stands up. They're looking at me with pure awe and suspicion. Oh yeah, they've all seen the massive drama blowing up online. They're dying to know what my next move is after surviving this absolute train wreck of a scandal. I take my seat at the head of the table, cold staring every single one of them. By now, I'm sure you all know what went down this morning. No playing around. I get straight to the point while the room goes dead silent. Sorry you had to see my embarrassing family drama. I mock myself, but then the vibe shifts. Personal drama is one thing, but business is business. The reason I called you all here today, to drop a major bomb. Everyone holds their breath. Starting today, Shengtang Group, cutting all ties with Hongyuan Group immediately. Boom. Just like that, my words completely blow up the room. No way, everyone is losing their minds. Boss, you can't do this. The CFO jumps up first. Hongyuan Group is our absolute biggest client. They bring in nearly 30% of our annual profits. If we drop them, our stock price is going to crash instantly. Our cash flow is going to be completely ruined. Exactly, boss. Please think this through. The marketing director panics too. We've always had a great run with Hongyuan. Why end it so out of nowhere? Is there some misunderstanding with Mr. Li? No misunderstanding, I cut them off. This is my call. But why? There is no why. My voice is pure ice, leaving zero room for argument. I only care about results. Starting tomorrow, I don't want to see the name Hongyuan Group on a single report. Boss, whoever has a problem with this can hand in their resignation right now. I cold stare the room and instantly it's dead silent. Everyone is absolutely shook by how ruthless and savage I am. They don't get it. Why would I pull off such a crazy, self-destructive move? But I know I have to. I refuse to let my empire built on fake success that isn't mine, especially in such a humiliating way. Meeting adjourned. I throw down those words and walk right out, leaving a room full of shell-shocked executives staring at each other. I know it is going to hurt the company big time, but rip the Band-Aid off. I'm going to prove to everyone, and to myself, that I don't need anyone. I am him. Chen Feng doesn't need anyone's help, and Shengtang Group will survive and dominate without Hongyuan. Dropping Hongyuan absolutely breaks the company. The next morning, the stock market opens, and Shengtang's stock instantly plummets. In under 30 minutes, our stock hits the rock bottom limit. The market is in absolute shambles, with toxic rumors and negative news spreading like wildfire. Everyone thinks Shengtang Group pissed off their biggest money maker, and with the founder's messy family scandal, we're basically cooked. The office phones are ringing off the hook, angry investors demanding answers, suppliers screaming for payments, and fake friend competitors trying to buy out our core assets for dirt cheap. The entire company is in pure chaos, like a sinking ship. The executives are sweating bullets, and the employees are freaking out. But me and Bai Ningbing, unfazed, we're holding the line, calmly running the show. Boss, here is the latest stock chart. We've hit rock bottom for 3 days. Bai Ningbing drops a report on my desk, sounding genuinely worried. If this keeps up, we're going to get forcefully kicked off the stock market. I know, I reply, staring at the absolute cliff drop on the chart with a deadpan face. What is the board saying? Blicant. Several board members have teamed up to demand an emergency meeting. They want you to explain this massive disaster. Just as expected, I smirk. When I desperately needed Feng back in the day, these clowns did absolutely nothing. But now that we're public, they slide in to steal the credit and act like big-shot directors. They used to kiss my feet when times were good, but at the first sign of trouble, they want to throw me under the bus. Tell them we're meeting the day after tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. Boss, do you actually have a plan? Bai Ningbing asks. I look up at her and shrug. Let them come. I'll crush whatever they throw at me. Then I ask her, are you scared? No, she shakes her head, her eyes locked onto mine with total confidence. I trust you, boss. Her unwavering trust hits me like a ray of light. I nod. Get me a full report on our core tech patents and the business plans for our secret new projects. The day after tomorrow, I'm going to absolutely shock the board. Understood, she says, walking out. Right then, my phone rings from an unknown number. I pick it up. Chen Feng, a heavy, powerful voice speaks on the other end. It's Mr. Li from Hongyuan Group. Bro really couldn't sit still anymore. What's up, Mr. Li? I ask, totally chill. I wouldn't dare give you advice, he replies, but his voice dripping with suppressed anger. I just want to know why you suddenly ripped up our contract and cut us off. Did Hongyuan trigger you or something? You're overthinking it, Mr. Li, I say with a smirk. This is just an internal business move. It's nothing personal. Internal business move? Mr. Li laughs. Come on, Chen Feng, stop playing games. You caused this massive scene and tanked your own stock price, throwing your whole company into absolute chaos just for a strategy shift? You think I'm stupid enough to buy that? Chen Feng. President Li's tone got dead serious. I've always looked up to you. I thought we were close buddies, almost like family. When your company went under, did I kick you while you were down? No, but now you're stabbing me in the back? Bro, that is straight up dirty. Dirty? I repeated that word in my head. Man, the irony was too much. President Li, are you seriously trying to play the moral card with me right now? Instant silence on the other end. The guy clearly caught my drift. He panicked, trying to test me, like, wait, does he actually know? I just hit him with the classic, if you didn't want anyone to find out, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. I kept my voice ice cold. Dead silence again. I could literally picture his face turning pale. Bro was absolutely terrified. The man thought this dirty little secret would stay buried forever. After a long pause, he stammered, Chen Feng, that woman Liu Ruyan did it of her own free will. It had nothing to do with me. Oh, so now we're shifting blame? I scoffed. Seriously? A small-time startup owner desperate for business versus a billionaire tycoon with massive power? And you have the nerve to call that voluntary? My voice was cold as ice. Look, I'm not here to dig up the past. I only called to give you a heads up on one thing. What is it? He asked. I replied, I have every single dirty detail of you and my wife on tape. If you want your wife, your rivals, and the entire world to see your true colors, I'm happy to hit upload. Are you threatening me? President Li instantly lost his mind, screaming in rage. No, it's not a threat, it's a promise. I spelt it out word by word. From now on, you stay on your side of the fence, and I'll stay on mine. We are officially done, we're even, and we better never cross paths again. Otherwise, I can't guarantee this audio file won't somehow leak online. Boom. I hung up without giving him a second to speak. I knew exactly what would happen. There's no way he'd risk his entire career and status on a gamble. If this gets out, he's cooked. He stands to lose way more than just one business deal. Finally, this chapter is closed. I took a deep breath, and it felt like a massive weight was finally lifted off my chest. It cost me a lot, but it was totally worth it. Fast forward 2 days later, and the Tang Group called an emergency board meeting. The room was tense. The second largest shareholder, or Director Wang, was leading a group of board members, and they all looked like they wanted blood. As I walked in, every single eye locked onto me. Well, Mr. Chen, you finally decided to show up, Wang sneered, dripping with sarcasm. Care to explain yourself? Why on earth did you cut ties with Hongyuan Group during our worst crisis? That is straight-up sabotage. Another board member chimed in. Yeah, Mr. Chen? That was an incredibly reckless move. Our stock is crashing and we just lost billions in market value. You need to take the fall for this massive blunder. Take the fall? I calmly pulled out a chair, sat down, and scanned the room. And how exactly do you want me to do that? Demand your immediate resignation. You need to take full accountability for this disaster. Wang slammed the table, finally showing his true colors. Resign? I laughed. Director Wang, you forgetting who actually owns this place? I'm the majority shareholder here. I decide who gets to be the CEO, not you. Sure, you have the shares, but you can't just run this company into the ground. Wang shouted, trying to sound like the hero. The board has already made up its mind. If you don't step down, we're going straight to the regulators to report you for ruining shareholder value. Classic mutiny. They thought they had me cornered and could just kick me out to split my hard-earned empire among themselves. How cute. Are you guys done barking? I waited until they finished throwing their little tantrum before I casually spoke up. I nodded to Bai Ningbing, and she started handing out folders to everyone. Before you guys try to kick me out, you might want to read this first. They looked confused but opened the folders anyway. Page 1, our brand new, ultra-advanced AI chip patent codenamed Tianshu. Page 2, the smart driving system powered by the chip. 3, have already locked down pre-agreements with 3 of the biggest car manufacturers in the country. Page 3, our secret project for the last 3 years, a next-gen solid-state battery. The energy density of this thing literally crushes everything currently on the market. Once we go into mass production, the entire industry is getting flipped upside down. Page after page, every single project was a gold mine. Every single patent was worth billion. The entire conference room went dead silent, except for the sound of papers flipping and people gasping for air. Their faces went from pure arrogance to shock and then to absolute greedy excitement. It finally clicked for them. This is why I dropped Hongyuan Group without hesitating, because I was holding a nuclear-level trump card. I broke the silence. So, gentlemen, compared to this, is that tiny Hongyuan contract even worth mentioning? You do the math. I dumped Hongyuan, simply to cut off our dead weight so we can pivot to something way bigger. So tell me, do you still want me to resign? I leaned back in my chair with a smug grin, watching them squirm. Director Wang's face went completely pale, looking like a total clown. He never in a million years thought I had an entire arsenal of backup plans. His little dream of taking over my throne shattered in an instant. Chen, we were just thinking about the company's future. Worried, he stammered, desperately trying to save face. For the company, I cut him off. Director Wang, should I mention how you've been secretly talking to headhunters? Trying to poach our entire core tech team? Do you want me to share those chat logs? Wang's face went completely white. And you, Director Li, using your company shares to get illegal loans. Should I have our legal team pay you a visit? And you, Director Zhang. With every single name I called out, another face lost its color. I knew every dirty little scheme they were running behind my back. I was just playing dumb, waiting for the perfect moment to wipe them all out in one shot. And now, that moment has arrived. You guys are all company veterans. Wanted to let you walk away with some dignity. My voice turned ice cold. But since you chose to act like trash, don't blame me for taking out the garbage. Ningding, get the legal and audit teams on the line right now. We are doing a full sweep on these board members. Anyone who touched our money, sue them. No mercy. Zero tolerance. Hearing this, those corrupt board members collapsed into their chairs, pale as ghosts. They knew they were absolutely cooked. As for the shares in your hands, I stared at them like they were already dead. I am willing to buy you out with a 20% discount on today's closing price. Leave with some dignity, or should I make you decent? This is your final warning. Director Wang and the others looked at each other, nothing but pure despair in their eyes. They had zero leverage left. I sell. Director Wang was the first to speak, his voice completely broken. Once the first domino fell, the rest followed fast. For long, every single one of those backstabbing board members signed over their shares. This entire coup they planned so carefully ended in my absolute victory. Talk about a massive face slap. From this day on, Shengtang Group is officially my personal kingdom. No one will ever override my decisions again. I am him. Those parasites cleared out of the boardroom, I finally had absolute control over the company. Now it was time to strike back. I called Bai Ningbing. Tell her to release just a teaser of our absolute ace projects to the public. The moment the news dropped, the entire stock market absolutely exploded. No one saw it coming. The Shengtang Group, which everyone thought was about to go bankrupt, was actually hiding this level of insane power. Artificial intelligence, microchips, self-driving tech, next-gen green energy batteries. Every single one of these fields are the gold mines of the next 10 years. After hitting rock bottom with limit downs, Shengtang Group stock pulled off a legendary comeback, consecutive limit ups for over 10 days straight. Stock price went straight to the moon. Not only did we recover all lost ground, we even hit an all-time high, doubling our entire market value. All those clown market analysts who were hating on us immediately switched sides, calling Shengtang Group the most valuable tech company to invest in. Our rivals who tried to kick us while we were down could only watch in despair. And the retail traders? Oh, they were absolutely crying, punching the air with regret, wishing they could turn back time. With this massive clutch play, I proved my power to the entire world. Shengtang Group can survive without anyone. In fact, we are doing better than ever. Meanwhile, karma finally caught up to Liu Ruyan and her toxic family. The corporate embezzlement charges stuck. Liu Ruyan and her brother Liu Guochang were dragged away in handcuffs, facing a massive prison sentence. Since the stolen amount was insane, all of Ruyan's assets, including the luxury apartment and the 10 million cash I gifted her back then, were frozen by the court to pay back the company's massive losses. She spent her entire life scheming, only to end up with absolutely nothing. Thrown behind bars. Talk about instant karma. And my former mother-in-law, Zhang Gaifan, since she was also part of the embezzlement, a suspended prison sentence. On top of that, she had to issue a public apology to me and Bai Ningbing for all those toxic rumors and slander she posted online and pay for emotional damages. When the court order finally arrived, rumor has it she had a stroke right then and there, leaving her paralyzed on one side, face completely crooked. I wonder if she regrets being such a monster as she lies on her hospital bed at night. As for President Li of the Hongyuan Group, the day after I hung up on him, he immediately canceled all legal battles with Shengtang and paid a massive termination fee. He was terrified. Didn't dare risk me dropping those voice recordings. This entire drama, started by a single mooncake, has finally settled. Every single traitor, person who tried to ruin me, paid the ultimate price. I won a complete, undisputed victory. 1 month later, my official divorce papers finally arrived. Liu Ruyan and I are officially history. The moment I walked out of that courthouse, the sun was shining bright. I looked up at the crystal blue sky, felt like a massive weight had been lifted off my chest. Bai Ningbing was waiting for me in her car. "Boss, is everything done?" "Yeah," I said as I hopped into the passenger seat. "From today on, don't call me boss anymore." Ningbing froze, her hands tightening on the steering wheel. "Then, what should I call you?" I turned to look at her. The golden sunlight poured through the window, framing her beautiful face in a soft glow. Throughout this entire chaotic journey, stood by me through my absolute darkest days, helped me strike back and climb to the very top with me. What we had was already way deeper than just boss and employee. "Call me Chen Feng." Ningbing's cheeks blushed a soft shade of red like a ripe apple. She didn't say a word, just gave a gentle nod as she started up the engine. The car smoothly merged into the traffic. "Where to? She heading to the office?" "No, not today," I shook my head. "Today we celebrate. We are celebrating my brand new life, and celebrating that I have you by my side." I kept that last part to myself, but we both knew. Ningbing smiled, her face lighting up like a brilliant sun. I took her to a newly opened French restaurant, sat right by the window, overlooking the stunning city lights. "Chen Feng," Ningbing raised her glass. "I should be the one congratulating you." "No, it should be me thanking you." I raised my glass and clinked it against hers. "Ningbing, thank you for always staying by my side." Her eyes flickered away, slightly, as if she wanted to say something, but held back. "What's wrong?" "Nothing," she shook her head, taking a sip of wine to build up her courage. After a brief silence, she seemed to make up her mind, looking up to lock eyes with me. "Chen Feng, there is something I have been keeping from you." "What is it?" Seeing her dead serious face, my heart skipped a beat. "Do you remember why you dared to just walk away from Hongyuan Group? Because you had those absolute god-tier ace projects, like the Tianshu microchip and the green energy battery. Exactly. But have you ever wondered why these top-tier, game-changing projects that literally represent the future of tech just happened to appear in Shengtang Group?" I froze. I always assumed these projects were created by our own tech team under my lead. "Wait, we made this in-house?" I knew my team was absolutely cracked and creative, but I never once questioned where these projects actually came from. Did we not build them ourselves? Yes and no. Bai Ningbing's eyes got super complicated, and she dropped a massive plot twist. She said the core tech, the frameworks, and the whole theoretical foundation actually came from just one person. I was like, "Who?" She looked at me and said, "My father." Bro, my brain went completely blank. "Your father?" Yes. She nodded and started spilling a story I had absolutely no clue about. She told me her dad was a brilliant scientist who spent his entire life grinding in artificial intelligence and new energy. These projects were his ultimate life work. But 3 years ago, he literally worked himself to death. Before he passed, he left all his research files straight to her. But she was just a fresh college grad back then with zero practical experience, so she had no way to turn these god-level concepts reality. She needed a massive platform and a bold, powerful leader she could actually trust. So she joined Shengtang Group and got close to me. She worked as a basic assistant, silently watching me from the shadows, testing me to see if I was worthy, while slowly feeding her dad's OP research into our company projects. I just stood there like a statue, totally speechless. I thought she was just some super talented assistant. No way did I ever suspect she was carrying a cheat code level secret entire time. Turns out I was the one getting tested. I stammered and asked, "Then why tell me now?" She smiled and said, "Because you passed the test." Bai Ningbing looked at me, her eyes shining. She said, "When the company was about to go under, you didn't sell out. Instead, you made the ultimate power move and cut ties with those trash partners. You proved you actually have spine and honor as a leader. You're worthy of my dad's legacy, and you have what it takes to lead us to the top." I paused and realized, wait, so that kiss at the Mid-Autumn Festival. Her face turned bright red as she whispered, "It was an accident, but also real feelings. I already liked you way before that." I looked at her, completely overwhelmed. I felt shocked, deeply touched, but also a sudden wave of pure terror. If I had bowed down to President Lee back then and let him walk over me, I wouldn't just have lost her. I would have ruined the entire future of Shengtang Group. It would have been over. I reached out and grabbed her hand. It was cold and shaking slightly. I had so much to say. But all of it boiled down to one thing. From now on, I will protect you and your dad's dream. Her eyes welled up, and she nodded with everything she had. Outside, the city lights sparkled under a sea of stars. I knew right then our real rise was just getting started. Fast forward 1 year later, right at the Mid-Autumn Festival. The rooftop sky garden of Shengtang Group is set up for a cozy party. None of last year's fake vibes or toxic corporate backstabbing. This year, I only invited our absolute core executives and top-tier developers along with their families. We're all just chillin', eating barbecue, drinking beer, and having a blast. Honestly, Shengtang Group has spent the last 12 months literally rewriting business history. Or Tianshu chip went into mass production, completely breaking foreign monopolies. Now, every single top-tier global tech giant is begging us to buy to them. Cars running our self-driving tech are dominating the streets nationwide, and our next-gen batteries are so OP and safe, they completely flipped the entire industry on its head. Our market cap just shattered the $1 trillion mark, and I, Chen Feng, went from a regular business owner to a global tech god. But behind all this insane success, there is one person who made it all happen. I turned my head to look next to me. There was Bai Ningbing chatting and laughing with some female coworkers. She was wearing a gorgeous pastel yellow dress, her long hair flowing down, but looking absolutely stunning under the lights. She is not my assistant anymore. After we shook up the board of directors, I shut down all the haters and made her the chief technology officer, the CTO of Shengtang Group, giving her full control over all our R&D. Some old heads tried to doubt her at first, but when she used her absolute genius mind and god-tier vision to lead the team through impossible bottleneck after bottleneck, everyone had to shut up and show respect. She built her own throne, and now she is the undisputed tech goddess of Sheng Group, and a literal legend to all the young engineers. She must have felt me staring, because she turned around and gave me this sweet smile. I could not help but smile back. She walked over and handed me a beer, asking, "What are you staring at?" I grabbed the beer, smirked, and said, "Can I look at my own wife?" I pulled her in close by her waist. We actually got married 6 months ago. It was a super low-key wedding, just close family and real friends. She blushed and gave me a playful nudge, whispering, "There are literally so many people watching." I leaned down to her ear and muttered, "They are totally used to it by now." And it is true, literally everyone in the company knows their big boss, Mr. Chen, is utterly whipped. She leaned her head on my shoulder, staring out at the beautiful city skyline. She asked softly, "Chen Feng, do you remember today last year?" How could I ever forget? I took a sip of my beer as memories flashed back. Exactly 1 year ago today, I was at absolute rock bottom. I was betrayed, humiliated, and left completely alone. I literally thought my entire world was ending. But that was the day my real life actually started. If it wasn't for that one mooncake, who knows? Maybe we'd still just be boss and assistant. I told her, sometimes I wonder if I should actually thank Liu Ruyan, but she immediately stopped me, making a disgusted face. I said, "Do not bring her up. That name is pure bad luck." She burst out laughing at my reaction. And honestly, the last I heard about that trash, Liu Ruyan, from my lawyer. He told me she has been acting up in prison, breaking every rule, so they just extended her sentence. She is absolutely cooked. And his little brother? Man completely lost his mind in prison, couldn't handle the heat. Meanwhile, his trash mother, Zhang Gifan, she had a stroke and was paralyzed, totally helpless. A few relatives tried helping out for a couple of months, but they got sick of her real quick. Dumped her in the worst nursing home ever. Talk about a complete family downfall. But honestly, I felt absolutely zero pity. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, brought this ruin upon themselves. Then out of nowhere, Bai Ningbing sat up straight, looking all mysterious, and said, "Oh, by the way, I have a secret to tell you." "What is it?" I asked. She smiled and told me to close my eyes first. I was super confused, but I did it anyway. Then I felt her soft hands sliding into mine, placing a tiny cold object right in my palm, whispering for me to open my eyes. I opened my eyes and looked down. Right there in my hand was a tiny pregnancy test, and oh my god, there were 2 bright red lines on it. My brain completely short-circuited for a few seconds. I snapped my head up, staring at Bai Ningbing in pure shock. Is this for real?" My voice was shaking like crazy. Bai Ningbing nodded with tears of joy in her eyes and whispered, "Chen Feng, you are going to be a dad." Boom! A massive wave of pure happiness hit me like a tsunami. Totally overwhelmed. I yanked her into my arms, hugging her so tight, completely speechless. I was going to be a father. We were actually having our own baby. Awesome. This is so awesome. I was completely lost for words, just repeating myself like a happy idiot. Soon, everyone in the office noticed the commotion and crowded around us. As soon as they saw the test, the entire room erupted. Massive cheers and applause shook the walls. Everyone was shouting, "Congrats, Boss Chen! Huge congratulations! You are absolute legends. Next year, our Shengtang group is getting a little prince or princess." I just held on to my wife, grinning like an absolute fool while everyone hyped us up. In that exact moment, I felt like my life was finally complete. I had the ultimate career, perfect wife, and now a baby on the way. What more could a guy even ask for? I looked down at her, then left a deep kiss on her forehead. Thank